Hello and welcome to a brand new preview episode for Black on Black Cinema. I'm your host Jay. I'm here with my co-host Micah,
Hey,
Terrence,
what's up?
and Tiara.
Hey.
All right, guys, we are back. This is a preview episode for episode 277. One of them days. This is the 2025 buddy comedy starring Keke Palmer and SZA. I'll read the logline here. When best friends and roommates Dreux and Alyssa discover Alyssa's boyfriend has blown their rent money, the duo finds themselves going to extremes in a race against the clock to avoid eviction and keep their friendship intact. Look, I don't know if you've seen the trailers for this. It looked pretty goddamn funny. You can rent this in all the places online. You can rent it. It may even still be in theaters in some of the places in some markets. So check out One of Them Days. Again, we'll get into that in detail next week. Random topic this week is all about the Kendrick Lamar halftime show for Super Bowl 59. Was it good? Was it mediocre? I don't get it. It was all about Drake and not about Donald Trump. Lil Wayne could have done better. All sorts of fucking stupid and interesting opinions. So we're gonna talk about it, give our thoughts, and dig into it. So I'll just go around. What did you generally think of the performance? I'll go to Tiara first.
I loved it. I mean, it was Kendra's mic was on the whole time. His breath control is insane.
It is.
To just be rapping like that and walking around like that. I thought the symbolism was pretty poignant for the time. As someone said on Twitter, Kendrick Lamar's performance is for people who understand how tariffs work. So if it went over your head, well, you're probably who he's talking about. I love that he mentioned Drake by name. That was an incredible moment where he just looked at the camera. It was a pretty lower energy Super Bowl performance than what we're used to. Usually, like the Super Bowl has a lot of bigger set pieces, a lot of like flash and fireworks and all that stuff. And this was not that, at least like not in the very beginning. And in the very beginning, I was a little worried because I was like, oh, okay. It feels not kind of what you usually expect. But then I thought like the incorporation of like Samuel Jackson and kind of build up to Not Like Us was just perfect. It's going to be a halftime show I actually revisit. I haven't rewatched many halftime shows, maybe other than Michael Jackson probably, and I think Prince, but definitely one of the better ones in recent years. And hey, look, the reaction to this, I think says a lot about the individual. And I'm not really talking about Black folks who already like Kendrick Lamar. I'm talking about people who don't like Black people or Blackness period, and don't like when Blackness is thrown in their face.
Yeah, that's fair. Micah, your thoughts?
I'm not really into his. I don't know a lot of his music, so I thought the performance was fine. I like that it told a story. I like that it had like a 3-act structure. The symbolism of pretty much everything is not lost on me. The only thing I didn't get, Sam Jackson came out as Uncle Sam, right? And there are layers to that, right? As to what that character represents, right? In terms of, the traditional like Uncle Sam caricature, the fact that it's a Black person, in this role, telling an older Black person telling a younger Black person, no, this is how you have to act, right, in order to play this game, right, the game of life, right. The fact that he stresses Uncle Sam, right, it's not Uncle Sam, it's Uncle Sam, right, like kind of invoking to me the whole Uncle Tom thing. And the fact that he's telling, it starts off with Kendrick Lamar just kind of rapping, and then Uncle Sam comes out and he's saying, no, this is not how you do it. And then Kendrick switches it up, and he's like, oh, okay, I have to be humble, I guess. And then Uncle Sam is like, yeah, that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. It was basically a story of how black people, but black men specifically in this case, are told how they have to act in order to succeed on the biggest stage possible, right? Quite literally, right? This is you're playing at the Super Bowl. It's literally the biggest stage in the world, and yeah, man, and I like how the end, he's all about being true to himself, right? And that was the whole thing with the beef, right? Like, Drake is not an authentic person in most people's eyes, right? So, and that's his thing, right? Like, you got to be true to yourself as a person, as an artist, as a man. And yeah, I dig it. I dig that message. I also dig the subtle political messages, right? Like, I see people, they're like, well, he could have done more, and he could have, he should have told Donald Trump to go fuck himself. Like, that's not how you, that there's a little more, that's the mentality of someone who doesn't see the forest for the trees, right? That's the mentality of, right. That's the mentality of, like, usually a younger person who doesn't know how to play the game, right?
Yeah.
Like, if I give my son a PlayStation controller and he can't do something, like, he'll just he'll throw it or whatever because he's a kid, right? He doesn't know how to play the game. They want immediate gratification. Things have to be, and that's the problem with our society now. Things have to be, I want this right now. Right. Why aren't the Democrats doing something? Why isn't Obama doing something? Do something. Like, it's just weird to me, man. It's just weird. The only thing I didn't get, is the PlayStation square, triangle, circle, cross thing. Like, I assume it's like, hey, this is part of the game, but then, like, he, like, took it a little literally with the PlayStation icons, and I didn't really get that, but it was a good performance. It made me go back and listen to the set, and I'm surprised that, like, you got a little bit of Euphoria on there. Like, you didn't get, like, the you didn't get the real angry part of Euphoria, which, everybody likes, everybody likes Not Like Us, but, like, Euphoria is the track. Yeah, Euphoria is the one that was really, really scathing, guys.
Yeah,
like,
it's not the most.
Meet the Grams was the one.
Yeah, that was
Meet
the
Grams.
Well,
was
yeah,
the horror.
yeah.
He's like,
No, Euphoria.
I wish your grandfather wore a condom, my nigga. That's.
but like Euphoria, I felt the rage in Euphoria. You know what I mean?
It was a stab in the chest. That was a stab in the chest. Like, we're not fucking around.
Yeah, like, that was the crime of passion, right? That was the, like, I hate the way that you talk, the way that you walk. I hate that you say nigga, right? Like, that was the crime of passion, right? Whereas some of these other ones were like, I'm gonna rip your soul out. Your soul is mine, right? Some Shang Tsung shit. You know what I mean? And then Not Like Us is just him dancing on your grave.
It quite literally is. It quite literally is. Like,
so yeah, I'm talking
Serena Williams to crip walk all over your dead career.
But yeah, look, as a person who's not, like, into music, but is into, like, film and storytelling and stuff, I thought it did a good job. It wasn't just, a bunch of people running out, dancing. It told a story, and I appreciate that.
All right, fair enough. Terrence, your thoughts?
Yeah, I enjoyed the whole thing. You basically said everything I was going to say. Both of you guys did. I was surprised he did so many songs from GNX. Oh, I think it was only he did Man in the Garden, Peekaboo, and Luther from GNX, and TV Off. So he did 4 tracks from his newest album that was kind of like a shadow drop. And I don't think people like that. Like when people do the Super Bowl, like you want them to do their hits, right?
Yeah, but
and that's what people are kind of like. It was underwhelming because he didn't play his hits. He did Humble. He did what else did
Squabble
he do?
Up.
He did Squabble Up, but that's on GNX.
Yeah.
Which I guess that's becoming a hit, kind of.
Yeah.
He did All the Stars. He did.
He played a little bit of. He played a little bit of
Humble
DNA
and DNA. Yeah.
And
those are like the hits that everybody knows, right?
Yeah.
But like the rest of it was basically GNX, which was surprising. But this is his MO. Like, remember that performance he did at the Grammys where he was like in chains, like he was in prison and things like that? This is what he does. He's an artist, right? So it wasn't going to be like a big giant spectacle, and I don't know why people expected that from him. Like the political undertone, just kind of like how it feels to be black men in America. If you didn't get it, that's on you. But I love GNX, right? So like when he was playing all those songs, I was with it. That nigga's a performer. That nigga's an artist. Like he's a true artist. And I asked you guys yesterday, we'll get into that a little later, I guess. So what other hip hop artist would have been able to do this by himself? I know he had SZA out for 2 songs, but this was all him, essentially. And he crushed it. Just like the pop out. Like that nigga's breath control is insane. Like I don't think there's any other hip hop artist. I forgot about
the pop out. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I don't think there's any other like male hip hop artists that could put on a show, that could put on a performance like this.
Not this generation. I don't think.
No. Like I said yesterday, I don't know. I'm talking about as a whole, just in general, throughout the 50 years of hip hop. I don't know who else could have done it. And this was the most watched Super Bowl halftime show of all time.
It's now I just
like
read it
100,000.
Well, and it's so funny because I actually read a statistic today that the number one view thing on television history is the moon landing, right? Which was 1969. It's like 120 to 150 million, right? They don't have exact numbers. And this performance hit 123 million. So it could have either somewhere between like possibly beating it or tying, but definitively the second most watched thing in TV history. And at the time when the moon landing happened, there were only 3 channels and they were all playing the moon landing. And there was nothing else to watch, right? There was no...
Like everybody around the world, right?
Yeah. And it still got 121 million. So, in the US. But it's... look, I thought it was a very good performance. It is, to Tiara's point, it's more subdued than like Rihanna, who did a performance a couple of years ago where it had like the multi-platform thing rising in the air and all this other stuff, which was very cool. I mean, Michael Jackson doing the fucking jetpack. Like, I mean, there's been like absolutely insane performances in the Super Bowl history. But I think this one actually had a lot to say, which is at this given time, I think that is more important than just the flash, the flashy shit. I mean, I'm not going to go through all the lyrics and stuff like that, but he says something in the beginning that I think, whether or not people picked up on this, I think this tells you kind of the tone in which he's setting, right? This is after Sam Jackson comes out as Uncle Sam, which should be the most obvious, like fucking red flag, hello, what is this about type of thing. But for some people, subtext is impossible, and so is text. But he says, you picked the right time, but the wrong guy. He wasn't talking about himself, right? Because I can understand that thought process, and that's what I thought at first. I was like, oh, like you want this guy to be kind of humble or whatever. Like you picked the wrong guy for that. But he wasn't talking about himself. He's talking about Donald Trump, right? Like that's obvious as you watch further into the programming. I mean, the symbolism of all black dancers, made up as the American flag at a certain point in the performance, the flag is divided. There's not a ton going on, but it's probably for the reason of you should be paying attention to the things that are being said. Instead of a multi-platform fucking craziness, pay attention to what is on screen. And keep your focus. I thought it was great. I'm a fan of Kendrick Lamar. I'm not going to be like, oh, I've been a long time fan. Like, I didn't know who the fuck Kendrick Lamar was until like a number of years ago when he performed on like the Colbert Report or some shit like that. And I was like, that guy's really fucking good. He did that song Untitled, which is still one of my favorite songs by him. which I would have loved to hear some of that on this too. But ever since I started listening to him, I've really appreciated the fact that he sounds like an artist of the time when we grew up, right? Which is of the 90s, not necessarily of the same style, but he's actually talking about something. And so much of rap now feels like just, drugs, money, pussy rap, right? And has always existed, but it has really become like the main thing in rap right now, unfortunately, at least from what I can tell. And I'm old, so don't tell, oh, but what about, I got it. You're right. But as far as I'm concerned,
90s, but it wasn't at the forefront. Anyway, I hate that argument. I don't like that argument.
What do you mean? What argument? My argument?
Like they say, that pussy rap and all this other the drugs and all that other shit. Like was always we had that since the 80s. I'm like, yeah, but that's literally all it is now.
Yeah,
like it's the most popular. I'm like, you just turn the radio on and that's what it is. I'm like, all right,
that's all it is.
Album cut. Those used to be album cuts.
Right.
Now it's just like
it's all the time.
Sexy Red just talking about anyway.
Whatever the fuck she's talking about. I just find really repulsive sonically and personally. I don't think it's good. So it's nice to see somebody at the top of the rap game who was a real artist. Like I honestly, like a real rap artist. And look, I'm not gonna pretend like I have never liked any song by Drake. That's not true. But I think Drake is more of a pop artist. And so I get tired of, I don't want to hear a bunch of rapping niggas sing the whole time. I don't. Sorry. It's just me. And so it is nice to see this. But yeah, the performance I thought was good. SZA came out. She did a good job. I mean, everybody seemed to be fine. Everybody had, however that worked.
Jerry's still out on how good a job she really did, but I'm just being an asshole.
I've never heard her sing like that before. And I thought she did a great job.
That's very positive of you. All right. Right. But I do want to talk about sort of the fact that there's so many people just who didn't get like basic things about this. We're like, oh, he's not talking about anything political, or this was all about Drake, or nobody really knows who this guy is. Like, didn't this guy just win like multiple Grammys like last week? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? But what do you guys
before
think?
That? So, I don't care about what white people had to say about the halftime show.
Agreed. No notes.
Yeah. and that even includes the folks who did enjoy it. I'm sorry, but I didn't care about what they had to say. But for the folks who didn't like it, I think that you have the folks like Matt Gaetz or whatever who tweeted some nonsense about it. But then I noticed that there were a lot of
was he mad
white people
because him and Drake are in the same boat? Is that
probably
Matt Gaetz is a pet.
Yeah, guys.
That's not a legend.
He is a legitimate.
Yeah, he really is.
Like, yeah, he is.
Yeah.
But
you're still out on Drake.
But I think this brought out a lot of like implicit bias in white people who like rap but think that rap is a horrible genre for the Super Bowl, and thinks that the NFL should play to the masses. I need people to kind of explain what they mean when they say appeal to the masses.
White people. Yeah.
Like I saw someone say,
put Guns N' Roses.
Yes, I saw people say Guns N' Roses.
Are you serious? I was kidding.
Yes,
wow.
I saw people say that. I saw people ask about the Who. I saw people say they should.
Who was like 75, 80 years old? What are you talking about?
I saw people bring up more.
That's the Doors.
That's the Doors. Yeah. Okay.
No, I think some of the other Who are dead too. And I saw people bring up country music, which I think is interesting. And I think like the white response is basically what Kendrick was illustrating when he was standing directly in the middle of all the dancers who were organized as the American flag. is definitely a tale of two Americas, depending on how you saw and how you reacted to that Super Bowl. For example, there's this guy who does a podcast with the Ravens cornerback Marlon Humphrey, white guy, and he posted a video of him booing Kendrick. And said this is the worst fucking show of all time. And people were like, "Shut up, white man." And he was like, "What does this mean? What does that have to do with me being white?" And I will argue it has everything to with you being white. And the fact that you can't see that, and the fact that you have this visceral reaction to Kendrick Lamar. It's one thing to not like it, because I've seen Black people who didn't like it either, and thought that the show should have been a bit more poppy. He should have played his older hits like All Right, and I think I saw some people say, don't kill my vibe and stuff like that. I understand that, because I know Black people will have more nuance as to why they dislike it compared to white people who they don't even fully understand why they don't like it.
It don't feel right to me. You guess you're like,
and people say, I can't understand what he's saying. Yes, you can. You see it. You completely understand what he's saying, because because a part of you feels angry about it. And the part that makes you angry is the fact that this is a Black ass show during Black History Month with a Black ass quarterback on one of the teams from a Black ass city. So I just that response was very was very stark to me. And I was waiting for someone to call it a DEI performance, and I did see that someone called it a DEI halftime show. But even then, I saw some folks saying things like taking the wrong message from it. Huh? What'd you say?
Usher's wasn't last year.
Yeah,
but niggas he was on stage last year either.
Mm-hmm.
Look, they haven't had white people. They haven't had
a year before.
They haven't had a white person lead the halftime performance since 2019, and that was Maroon 5. Okay.
Well, hey,
2019.
2019.
And I haven't seen white people this upset about a halftime show since Beyonce came out during the Coldplay, when Coldplay was headlining with Bruno Mars, and Beyonce did Formation. That was the last time I saw white people this upset.
I thought. Whoa. No. Beyonce did. I thought she did Formation on her year. She brought out Bruno Mars.
That was 2013, 2012?
Coldplay was a headliner.
Oh, you're right. But nobody.
Yeah, it's just everyone forgot because who the fuck?
Yeah. But look, I'm looking at the list of Super Bowl shows. You're absolutely right. So 2016, it was Coldplay, and they had Beyonce, Bruno Mars, Mark Ronson, whoever the fuck Gustavo is, some like university marching band. So in order to make Coldplay interesting, they had to bring in a bunch of brown people to make it fucking cool, right? Like Katy Perry was the year before that. Who did she bring out? Lenny Kravitz and Missy Elliott. Okay. So it is like we're better at this than you guys are. Like we just are, yo. We just are. Like, yo, listen to this. Madonna in 2012, she brought out LMFAO. I mean, okay. Nicki Minaj, MIA, CeeLo Green.
Right?
What's that?
He's Black, right?
Yeah, he's is he like Barry Gordy's kid?
Like mixed or something like that.
Yeah, he's like Barry Gordy's kid, I think. CeeLo Green, and then like a bunch of marching bands. Like every time there's white people that are like, we need to.
Hey, we got to spice that shit.
We need some pepper on this fucking stage. And by the way, if you're asking, right, and if you're asking for the Who played in 2010. And you know why you don't remember? Because the Who is 155 fucking years old. They're an amazing band of their time, no doubt. I got no issues with the Who. I like the Who's music, but they're 1,000 years old.
And the times are different.
80.
So and like kind of what you said, how this show has something to say. I would argue that the Super Bowl halftime show is the biggest platform on which you can say a particular message to the whole world, not even just the States, but everybody who's watching this event. And something that I was just thinking about when you mentioned that LMFAO and Madonna and then Katy Perry and Lenny Kravitz, these are all very safe artists that everyone could quote unquote come to an agreement on, because that's what our culture was was less polarized, I think, probably than it is now.
100%.
But now like if the NFL is bringing Kendrick out, they knew exactly who they were putting out there when they said Kendrick was going to be the performer. And I don't know if people know the NFL is a goddamn machine. They don't do anything by accident. So they knew exactly who they were getting, and they knew what the response was going to be. It wasn't all of this. What was intentional. And the NFL doesn't have any regrets, and because it was also the highest watched. I mean, even though I would say Michael Jackson was before social media, so maybe there should be, maybe it should be separate from that. But still, like, there was no mistake in who they were getting to perform this show, and also the time that ran as well.
Yeah, look,
you're muted.
The NFL is a corporate machine, and they aren't like, they grew up with the television age. So that's why watching a football game on TV is much better than going live.
Yeah.
But they know what they're doing, and they're not bringing out these rock acts because these rock acts aren't as popular. They're bringing out pop acts, man. Like, just because you don't know who somebody is doesn't mean other people don't. And look, people might only know that one song, which is why he kept teasing it. But when he played it, everybody blew up. But like, I get it, right? They're not gonna, but like, the NFL's not gonna bring out Mastodon, right? Like, they're not gonna
the metal band.
Exactly. They're not gonna bring out like, they're gonna bring out people who are popular, and they have a whole staff.
It's going to be a popular or a legacy act. It's one of the two.
That's it,
right?
You're not going to bring up some random fucking person.
Right. And look, legacy acts, I mean, they're legacy, man. Like, them
niggas is old.
Kind of old, man. They're kind of old.
The last legacy act was 2022, and I hate to say this, but the Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Eminem, Mary J. Blige, and Kendrick Lamar, I mean, minus him, that is a legacy act. These niggas were popular when we were fucking young. Like, they were, right? So, apparently they were popular the year Jalen Hurts died or was born. Fucking insane. Good God, I'm so old.
That man is 26 years old.
Fuck him and you. Just fuck him and you'll be old one day. Get out of here.
I'm just saying. That is a.
You're not allowed to look. No, you're not allowed to look at him. You creep. Get out of here.
He's 7 years younger than me.
Yeah, yeah. You're giving off creep vibes. Knock it off. Leave that young boy alone. He's just a young boy. He's barely out of high school. Stop it. Stop it.
No,
they're gonna make a rap song about your ass too. Like,
that man is happily engaged to a beautiful black queen, and is keeping things pure.
And meanwhile, Kermit the Frog on the other side over there is married to Maga. Maga Margaret, whatever the fuck her name is.
Yo, that nigga sounds exactly like Kenny. He does, Do you like chicken fried steak? Fuck you, lady.
What's your favorite? What's your favorite?
Fried chicken.
What's fried chicken? He's like, bitch, what?
We're married.
What are we doing?
He's like, actually, I like tacos. And she was like, an ethnic food. Got it.
It's all the same.
It's all the same to me. I just like mayonnaise. I assume is what she said. But yeah, look, people complain, why not a country act? You know why? Because country music is the third most popular genre of music in the United States. I know wherever you live, you think it's the number one, but guess what? The number one genre of music is hip hop. It is.
Can I add something to that?
That's right. And pop is not.
They had a country halftime act in December on Netflix, and it was Beyonce.
No,
it sure did.
But that don't count.
Why?
It's a great
Why
performance.
doesn't
Brown.
it count
Too
for
brown. Because for some
the woman who
reason,
was from
this
There's too many
cowgirl
niggas
without.
on the field.
Yeah.
Houston,
She
Texas,
forgot to wear
Beyonce,
Yeah. She forgot to wear a cowboy hat.
country ass
to
Beyonce.
shade her face. No. That's why I don't count.
So they got country.
Yeah, like, but can we get a non-nigger-fied country?
Right.
Like, that's what really.
So we need what's his name? Keith Urban from Australia to be the headliner.
Right. Yo, that will never.
Keith Urban
that
from
will
Australia?
Yes. Yeah. That will never fucking
Nigga, what?
Yeah. That shit will never stop being funny.
Are you
We
saying he's
can't
Australian
allow.
because he's married to Nicole Kidman.
No, but he is
Yeah,
Australian.
sure.
He's
from
Australian.
Australia.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right. Australian American singer. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
What the fuck?
right.
You know what he is?
Y'all-
He's
y'all
country
faves don't even
music's
go here.
Iggy Azalea, right? Hello, I'm Iggy Azalea, and then when she starts rapping, she fucking sounds like a black woman from the South. Like, get the fuck out of here.
That nigga was born in New Zealand. The fuck?
I mean, it's all Australia.
All
over
the
there.
same. All the same.
On the continent of Australia. How about that? Yeah, and he big country star, everybody top in the charts and all this other shit. Oh, the black woman from fucking Houston, Texas. That's not country.
Nope.
All right, make it make sense. Oh,
But
right.
you know, I do think it is interesting, right? That like a lot of the folks who I've seen who have these strong reactions to Kendrick's performance are probably love Drake, which will say so much about what they really think about the genre. Like I think like Drake makes rap music for white people who want to feel like they're down with black people.
That feels correct. It's and I say this like to be slightly mean. He makes rap for like white basic bitches. I was like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
like white people.
It's like you get a Starbucks and then you go listen to you get like a Frappuccino and then you go listen to Drake. Like, it's like
Yeah, I
that.
think
white frat boys.
I think that's more accurate. Like, because like white people love listening to like all different kinds of hip hop, right? Like they just don't broadcast it, but like these dudes don't make these dudes don't make these album sales without them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Right.
that's how they make money.
So,
Right.
We ain't
yeah,
got money, we broke.
I mean, there's just statistically, they wouldn't be where they are without
Right.
you know. So look, man, I don't really, I haven't seen too many white reactions outside of our little circle of friends, and because I don't really care. I've seen, some black folk who, but we're not a monolith. They all run the gamut, right? Like some people didn't get it. Some people really enjoyed it. But one of the things that I wanted to bring up is, you can't expect these music artists to be these music artists are not civil rights leaders.
No.
Like, please stop putting them on that pedestal. Please don't
demanding
expect,
that from them. Demanding it.
right. Like, don't expect them to, just because you think they should, or just because your friends see this person as a, like it was kind of a dickish thing for Charles Barkley to say, but he's right. I'm not a role model, like
No,
don't,
he's 100%
Yeah,
right.
like don't expect these people to sacrifice their careers for you to get a little bit of catharsis, right? Like if he went out there and said fuck Donald Trump and that was it, like, nah, yo, like that's career suicide, yo. Just for you to feel good, like,
and then people will forget
it's-
about him as he gets his life
Right.
destroyed 2 minutes after
Yeah.
that. Like, that was dope, and then just fucking keep moving. Like,
right. Instead, what he did was he incepted a message into a performance and I don't even think incepted. I mean, he literally had the American flag made up off of the backs of black men, right? Like,
Right.
it's not that hard to follow. But he incepted a message into his performance, and if you are, it was the best dog whistling that I've ever seen. And if you took the message, if you received it, congratulations, you are the person that it was meant for. Now it is upon you to act. Right? Like you can't expect, like, that's why these people do this stuff. Right? That's why these people come out and not everybody can be a bomb thrower, man. Sometimes you gotta be a splinter cell. You know what I mean? Sometimes you gotta work within the fucking rules of the game to get the outcome that you want. That was the whole fucking point of the show.
Yep.
And the cherry on top was shitting on a nigga he didn't like. Like, that's what I was worried about. I was worried that this was going to be 15 minutes of just fuck Drake, fuck Drake, fuck Drake. And it wasn't.
No, he got one line off and it worked real well.
Yep.
He looked in the camera just like that fucking end of the fucking Thriller video. Like he turned around and shit. Like, yeah, and he nailed it. Like, because everybody was like, oh, he's not going to mention him. Like, nah, I am. And then I'm going to mention that you sue people too, you fucking punk bitch. Yeah, it's great. But I agree. Like, to make it all about Drake would have taken away from his performance, because it's like,
right?
Are you still worried about this nigga? Like no. He did what he did what he came to do. He delivered a message that he came to deliver, and he also got to fucking twist the knife just a little bit and then move on.
But
a little bit. He has somebody out there walking. That's a two-pronged thing with Serena.
Yeah,
because she was walking at Wimbledon or whatever one, and they were like, that's niggerish. And then also, for some reason or another, Drake decided to call her out her name in a song for no reason. Like, what the fuck did I do? Like, calm down.
And not only did he do that, but he posted a photo of him and Serena's manager.
Yeah, her agent or something like that.
Or former, something like that. And it's just, this man is everything that Kendrick said he was, which is obviously like a bigger symbol for everyone who takes from Black culture and then runs behind lawyers when they get punched back in the face, metaphorically. But even then, I think some of the attacks on Serena have been very telling from some Black men, including like Jason Whitlock and Stephen A. Smith.
That fucking cool ass.
See, I told you, like that nigga is a conundrum. He hates Jason Whitlock, but I don't like calling people coons. But I will laugh when you do it. But I will laugh when you do it. Yeah. I won't tell you to stop. I don't like doing it. I won't tell you to stop.
The word coon is funny.
But
Jason Whitlock is a coon. He is. The two of those dudes are very much two sides of the same damn coin. Yep.
And for two people that hate each other so much, I would divorce Serena Williams. First of all, nobody trying to be with your ass nigga.
No, he's not.
Nobody's trying to be with your ass nigga. And second, you look like a goblin, nigga. I'm sorry, yo. I'm sorry.
I'll never
he can't help it.
Trying to box.
But like, I don't know. It's just weird. It's just a weird thing out of the blue to say.
Yeah, I would divorce him. Like, why are you coming up with this hypothetical situation? You could
why
never
are you making this about you? Why are you making a beef between Drake and Kendrick Lamar featuring Serena Williams about you?
Yeah, it's very weird.
And again, he's like glossing over the fact that why she was there in the first place, because Drake is a bitch. Like he did that with Rihanna. I can't remember what song it was. He did it with Megan Thee Stallion. He just does
That's why you're alone. That's why you're
minding their fucking business.
He does. He does this to women that he used to be either attracted to or used to date. And he goes after their very healthy relationships. And And thinking about how he will like take a shot at them in the song on Instagram, but yet it gets Kendrick Hill. He had his lawyers release like something at the Super Bowl saying, joking about pedophilia is never okay. And it's just, you won't even sue Kendrick directly. You're suing your label.
I ain't joking.
And here you will take shots at women who ended their relationships with you for one reason or another because you're a bitch. He is a loser. A loser.
Yeah, he is.
I mean,
I think his
no
career is
amount
pretty much torched at this point. Like I don't think he's going to have a chance.
I don't think so.
To the
I
level that he
don't.
is.
People forget.
Yeah,
people
all you gotta do is
have
come up with
memories of a gnat.
Yeah, all you gotta do is come up with another. Like another one of those.
That was a solid impression, by the way. Like, is Drake here? Oh my god,
that's the only Drake song I know, guys. And he'll be fine. Unless white people just spontaneously combust, he's gonna be fine.
I don't think he'll ever hit to the level that he is now, or excuse me, previously was, not now. I think he has an album coming out, right? Like, isn't it like in a week or two? So it'll be telling.
Next door.
It's coming out soon.
It's like a yes. I think it's in the end of this month.
Yeah, well, I'll be telling, right? Because people talk a lot of shit, then an album come out, they're like, I gotta listen to that shit. Who's gonna know? I streamed this 14 times.
But how? I don't know what the white version of or male version of a Karen is. I don't know if there's a word for that. But how Karen is it for you, Aubrey? Okay.
Yeah, an Aubrey.
To take a rap beef that you started, and then when you get bodied for months and people are out here making kids bop versions of the song that bodied you. You decide to.
Is there a kid bop version not like us? All right, I'm about to find that shit. Yo, come on.
And I mean, and now you have big brands like HBO Max that took a clip from Degrassi, the American Heart Association. That is like,
yo, that was crazy.
You have everyone who is just piling on you. Yep. And instead of just taking it on the chin and just going away.
Let's go away for a year.
You decide to sue the label that you both share. You are a bitch.
And then he dropped the lawsuit, did he not?
No, it's
dropped the initial one, but then he's got a defamation lawsuit. Yeah, for being called a pedophile. Which, you know what, I'd be a little fucking upset if I was being called a pedophile for fucking the world.
And his team thought that the NFL wouldn't let Kendrick do what he did. Like, you can't bully the NFL to do anything.
No, you can't. Like, these niggas literally destroyed a man's career and then had end racism painted on the back on the football field, like as a fuck you, like right to his face. They don't give a fuck. Micah, stop listening to the Not Like Us. We can't hear you.
We can't hear anything.
Yeah, I'm not gonna play it on the show.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah, please.
Yeah, it's say Drake, I heard you like some gum. Like, what the
That's awesome.
Why even do that?
Yeah, that's terrible. Is it actually the official Kids Bop version?
I think so.
Yo,
I don't know, but this shit is hilarious.
Like some gum. Oh, I would.
I hear a lot of people saying like the only reason why Kendrick is even here is because of Drake. It's like, yeah, you're right. You're not wrong. Like you said, Drake started this whole thing with push-ups. Okay, I am, and I killed you. I came out with 4 songs and destroyed your whole fucking career.
Yeah, he blew your whole shit up
in like 2 weeks. And like, yeah, that got him the Super Bowl. And he gave us a message during the Super Bowl, and he's about to go on tour with SZA, and he's having his best. He has the best year he's ever had. I'd be like, I'd send Drake some flowers, you punk bitch. I'd send him a fucking edible arrangement. Thank you. for making me come out and smoke you, nigga.
Yeah.
I'm mad they didn't even change the name of Drake in the song, in the Kids Bop song, yo. Like they didn't even they said his name, yo. They said his name.
Hey Drake.
Say Drake,
Damn,
I heard you like
that's
gum.
damn.
I give you a noogie if you try to ask for some. Like what, yo? This is hilarious, yo.
There ain't no way that shit is real.
I know I'm late to this, but yo, this is hilarious.
That's really funny. That's really fucking hilarious.
Oh my god.
Nothing is
just,
better
like-
than kids bop rap songs are fucking just hysterical.
And there was one part of the show where Samuel Jackson, I forgot what he said, but Kendrick, I think he was like Kendrick be humble, or Kendrick did something else. He was like, Mr. Lamar, do you not know how to play the game? Tighten up. And there was another part where he was like, deduct one life. And it took me a second. I was like, oh my God, deduct one life, because when you don't play the game, Black people die. That is
the part where he was sitting on a corner with the street light. Niggas
Yeah.
were just chilling
with
on
all
the
the
street
streets.
light.
Yeah,
That
was he like, I see you brought your homeboys or whatever, deduct one
Yeah,
life
cheat
or something
code.
like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I mean, like Drake is just one part of it, but he does represent so much, not just because he's Drake, but because there are a lot of cultural vultures out there who will cosplay blackness and try to be part of it, and then as soon as someone says that hey, watch what lines you cross, you're willing to throw that blackness back in our face. And the blackness runs real deep, as we all saw throughout the show.
And the one thing about this whole beef, what people seem to miss is Kendrick Lamar never questioned Drake's blackness.
Nope.
Throughout the whole,
Right.
He never said anything about his blackness. Even in Meet the Grams, he said,
literally addresses
you're
that
black.
it's son.
Like he calls his kid like you a black man, son. Don't let. I forgot what the lyrics are. Don't let no man piss on your leg, son. You either fight that man or put one in his head. If somebody pissed on Drake back in the day, they ain't do shit.
I mean, he said,
what?
He got pissed on in a movie theater. Yeah.
Like on purpose?
One of T.I.'s homeboys. I don't know.
Nah, yo.
I don't know if it was on purpose.
No,
I got it.
no.
Then
Don't
I'm just
matter.
gonna get beat up by a bunch of people, but that cannot.
Yeah, I'd have got my ass kicked. I'd have been in the hospital that night, but I'm not gonna let you get that shit off and me not like punch you in the face. I would probably be in traction, but that's fine.
I don't understand. Like, that means somebody had to actively like pull their dick out, get a stream going, and you just sit there. Like, there's too many things happening in the time that I could stand up and beat you within an inch of your life. Like, that's a bizarre situation. Like, you didn't get hit with like a cup of piss where you're like, it's all over me. What is it? And then you're like, you figure it out. Like, they just stood there and peed on you. Like, that's crazy.
that's gross.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very gross.
Because,
I tried to kill that nigga, yeah. I tried to kill that nigga.
Somebody spit at me once, and I tried, like, you know how, like, you know the difference between,
Did
like,
you black
trying to
out?
choke somebody with, like, oh no, I was very aware of what was going on. I was as clear-eyed as I've ever been. I tried to kill that person. Like, I was, like, legitimately trying to kill them. I was like, spitting is one of the lowest forms of, like, or the highest form of disrespect. Someone peeing on you is, like, I can't even fathom how many levels above spitting on someone that is.
Yeah, yo, because like
That's
'cause,
insane.
like, you gotta like,
your dick is out. That's a vulnerable situation. You're putting yourself vulnerable to do that to someone else.
that's a lot of planning that has to go with that. Right? You gotta
drink water
drink, right? You gotta drink a lot of water. Like,
Give me
you
a
gotta-
second.
Right? You gotta.
I don't know
you
what
gotta
the full
anticipate
situation
this.
was, but that's the
Nobody's
scuttlebutt.
just
Someone
like-
pissed on him.
Yeah, because
He
nobody's
never
like.
denied it.
Nobody's like,
gross.
man, me beating your ass really had to make me piss, right? Like, I'm gonna just do it right. Like, nah, yo, like that was a plan.
Yeah, maybe it was. Like apparently it happened.
Yeah, T.I. confirms long-standing rumor that his friend urinated on Drake. Wow.
Yeah.
That I could have gone my whole life
I would try
without
to
knowing
kill that nigga. Yeah, like I would literally try to kill that.
No,
nigga.
it would. It'd be fucking.
I know.
it'd
I'd be in the
lights
hospital.
Fuck out, yo. It'd be lights out. Like,
Yeah. Mm-mm.
Wow.
Yeah, these are the things. You know,
that
Drake.
that is
His whole persona of like, yeah, I'm a tough guy now. Like that's not how we came out. That's the thing. Like, yo, just stick to
singing.
like Drake, like Kendrick said. I like Drake when the melodies. I don't like with Drake when he act tough. I don't. Because you fake, nigga. Like we know you not that guy.
I mean,
it don't matter. A lot of people are not
I
that
don't
guy. Like Rick Ross is not that guy.
I never forget that. Yeah, I don't know how Rick Ross gets a pass, and I don't hate Rick Ross, but yo, you were a correctional officer. Yo. Like
you were a CEO,
we've seen
bro.
the pictures. Yo. Like, how does that happen?
Well,
seen you with no beard,
and also
nigga.
like, I think where Drake fucked up was just when he said that Kendrick raps like he's trying to get the slaves free. Like, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you think that's an insult?
I mean, like that's crazy. I did like fucking. Look, I like that song. It's a dope track. But
That's
like,
okay.
You know, then fucking Meet the Grams came out 15 minutes later. It just completely stepped all over that shit. Oh man!
Oh, look at Rick Ross with no beard. God damn! This is a goddamn.
Yikes! I don't want to see that.
I was searching Rick Ross with no beard, and I searched Rick Ross with no, and it said shirt, and I was like, it's not what I asked for.
No.
What I asked. Please.
Oh man.
Also, skinny Rick Ross is fucking bizarre to me. Well, skinnier Rick Ross. Yeah, I don't like Rick Ross without a beard. This nigga looks I can't trust him. No, this nigga looks untrustworthy.
The only black man that you can trust who doesn't have facial hair is Governor Westmore.
Because he has a black wife too, according to TR. So
yes.
You can be bald with no facial hair if your wife is very black.
Yep.
It's good to know the rules, y'all. It's good to know the rules. Yeah, that black dude was like, Kendrick Lamar is whack, and all the white people at my party, they didn't like it either. And someone was like, are you the white person at your party? Because I don't like that. I don't like that guy at all.
He's a gay conservative.
He's a gay conservative that got.
What?
Oh, I didn't know he was famous.
Yeah.
Well,
no,
not famous,
yeah,
but like known.
Yeah, he's famous for being a black gay conservative who got run out of a MAGA event because they were calling him the F word and a nigga, hard R, very hard R. And then he was like, "Wow, that was really unacceptable. I love MAGA." It was like, all right, you just don't get it. Like, you're a double minority. You still don't get it.
Have some self-respect.
He doesn't have
it.
Yeah.
That is so sad.
I saw a woman. I don't know what her ethnicity was. She might have been Latin or like, well, half and half. I'm not sure. But she said that he was. She called him an emotional support minority for white people, which I thought was fucking hilarious. That's one of the funniest things I fucking heard in a while. Oh, shit. Funniest people are on the internet.
How are you a black gay MAGA?
He worked for Turning Point USA.
What's going on in your head to think that they give a single fuck about you?
They don't. He likes money.
Does he get paid for that shit?
I think he really believes that. I think someone like that actually believes.
You think so? I don't think he does. Mm-hmm. I'm looking at that guy's face. He looks
I think he does.
I think he. I was watching someone. I think I was watching someone who posted a compilation of his videos. And he said some other just self-hating stuff. And when you watch how strongly he feels, I was like, the self-hate was making me so uncomfortable and angry. Because he thinks he's a white man. Through and through.
Yeah, he's not.
That's bizarre. Outside, look. Okay. I don't get it. I don't understand these people.
No.
I don't get it. How can you sit there and watch what they're doing and still, you as a gay black man, you got booed out because they called you a nigger and all kind of other shit. And you still cool with it?
Mm-hmm.
How does that?
Of course you are.
How do you compartmentalize that?
Yeah, he's the fucking the frog from the WB. That's him. Get out of here. It's fucking pathetic. Look.
Yeah, that's sad.
You don't love. Look, if he truly believes this shit, and it's not just for money. You don't love yourself, You need a counselor.
He really does. He really believes that.
That's mental illness, right?
Yeah, you need counselor, and that doesn't mean you got to be like, I hate white people, and like you don't got to do all that, but you got to have love for yourself at a minimum. You got to be okay with who you are as a human being. You don't love yourself. You don't.
They are ashamed of being black, in the history that comes being black here. That's what that is.
Here's the thing. Stay over there. When the shit hits the fan, as it is currently doing, stay over there. Just remember the side that you decided to hop on. Stay over there. Because they don't give a fuck about you. And you're going to be like, hey, black people, can I come up? Stay over there. We are not going to be your saviors. We're not going to accept you. Stay over there. Go get your mental health, your mental health dealt with, but stay over there. Stay over there. You got it.
Well,
yeah.
It's going to force you an arm and a leg because they're going to take away your fucking health care. But you can
stay over there.
Go ahead and get it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You emotional support minority. God damn. That's a fucking bar.
Yo, that's so funny to me.
Yeah, that's a good line, man. That's a good line. Look for that one to come back. I'm sure we
pat you on the head and give you treats, nigga. Like what do you get from that?
You did a good job.
What do you get from being that guy? That's my question. Like, what do you get from being that guy?
You get to
be unique.
Yeah, you're contrary.
You get to be unique.
Because in a group of black people, you find out that you are actually very mediocre and very not special.
Yeah. Some people don't know how to live their lives for themselves. They have to live their lives based on the popularity and based on what other people think of them. I personally think that is some childish shit, especially as like a grown ass adult. I don't give a fuck what white people think of me. Who cares? Oh, I think you should. I don't give a shit. Just stop the conversation right there. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. So, this guy cares a lot. That is his fucking guiding light in life. I think that's pretty fucking sad.
And I will bet he's intimidated by other black people.
Oh, 100.
Who are 100% more successful and did not have to sell out the way he did. And actually, no, not even just that, but black people who actually love being black and would choose being black every single lifetime.
Yeah. Like, look, being black is not easy, but if I had to choose it all over again, I would re-up because I like who I am.
Yeah.
Right.
I like seasoning.
Right. Also, I don't have a small dick, so like, that's pretty good. Like, things.
Wow. Okay.
Look, bad credit score, bigger dick. It's life has
wow.
Just playing. I have a pretty good credit score. All right, that's it for us. We will be back next week with episode 277. I'm being honest. One of them days. So again, you can rent that again, starring Keke Palmer and SZA. So check that out. Should be a fun time. Looks very, very funny. I believe it has a 97% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is pretty goddamn.
I'm gonna try to see it in theaters if it's still there.
All right, cool. We're just gonna be contrarians and tell you that it was whack, right? Like, isn't that that's how they get the algorithm going or some dumb shit? All right, we'll see you guys next week.
Take it easy.
See you.
Bye.
You're watching the Black on Black Cinema YouTube channel. Make sure you check out our full reviews of black movies, past and present. And every other week, we do a preview episode where we talk about a random topic that affects the black community.